oui, ok, très bien.
John Berger. La librería Cálamo está muy orgullosa y muy honrada con el premio que ha tenido usted la amabilidad de aceptar. Premio que se llama Cálamo, otra mirada, y que parece haber sido creado especialmente para usted, puesto que su obra gira en gran parte sobre la mirada. Mi primera pregunta es, ¿cómo mira y qué ve?
But first of all, it's I who am very honored that you have given to our book, it's not just mine, our book, your prize, the Cálamo prize. Thank you. And then you ask me about what is looking. I mean, it's difficult to answer because what I can say is that my perception of the world comes mostly to me, first anyway, through my eyes. Not only concerning appearances, but concerning the sense of things, or the sense that they make. I mean, I really live through my eyes. Why? I don't know. I was born like that. Maybe the fact that for the first 30 years of my life I was a painter has something to do with it. I'm not sure. Seeing is one way of questioning our existence and why we exist. Curiously enough, the act of looking is as complex as the arguments of philosophy, except that they are not verbal, or this act is not verbal, and therefore can't actually be now translated into words.
Mi segunda pregunta está relacionada con el libro que ha suscitado el premio, libro que se llama My Beautiful, Esa Belleza. Mi pregunta es, ¿qué es la belleza para usted o cuál es su idea de la belleza?
Well, I mean, the book tries to answer that question. The book is really the answer to that question. The book began, it really began with an idea, a vision of my son, Yves, who's a painter and who is a very close friend of Marc Trivier. And it was he who said, well, why don't the two of you make a book together? And Yves' companion, Sondra, who's there with you tonight. Hi, Sondra. She was very, very much to do. She was very, very much present with ideas and encouragement at the very beginning when we were dreaming up this book. And I mean, I can't make a paraphrase of the book because anyway the book is very short and there's lots of white spaces. There are lots of things not said, which are spaces, hopefully hospitable places for the reader to make her or himself at home in. So the answer to the question is in the book itself. The only thing I would say, just one idea, which comes towards the end of this little book, which is that when we think of something which is beautiful, we first of all think of ourselves looking at it. But actually, perhaps the beautiful is what we want to be looked at by.
En sus escritos, en toda su obra, hay una relación entre mirar y comprometerse. ¿Qué actitud tendría que adoptar un escritor, un intelectual hoy?
Well, first of all, I'm absolutely against giving prescriptions for other people, intellectuals or artists. I don't think that works. Creativity or even engagement is never the result of a kind of instruction. It is something which happens inevitably or doesn't happen. So I have no prescription about artists or intellectuals being engaged. There are many artists who have been very engaged, whom I admire very much, but there are others whom I admire equally, who were not particularly politically engaged. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to accept the idea that I'm an engaged writer, because I can't be otherwise, but not as a result of following a program, a political program or any other kind of program. No.
Unas palabras sobre el trabajo de Marc Crivier, que ha fotografiado las esculturas de Giacometti.
Yes, Marc. He's a very mysterious person. He's a photographer. He's a botanist. He's a gardener. He's an observer. He reads a lot. What to tell you about him as a photographer? I don't know, because his work is very mysterious. One of the mysterious things about it is that you can almost immediately recognize whether a photograph is by him or not, although he doesn't repeat himself. There is something about his images. Okay, one talks about photography and one says, okay, it's a question of the decisive moment, as Cartier-Bresson said. The strange thing about his photographs is that they seem to have been taken in that fraction which is between moments. That almost timeless space between moments. However short you make those moments, however close together you put them, there is somewhere that little space which is between moments, which is meanwhile. And that's where Marc penetrates with his photographer's eye, his tact, and his great tenderness.
Y por último, unas palabras, un saludo para los amigos que están presentes.